What if you could immediately search for any note you've ever written? What if you never lost another note again? And what if you could turn your shelves of hoarded notebooks into something digital that lasts forever? Well, you can't. But you can make sure that you'll never waste paper again with this week's product, reMarkable 2. Let's discover if this black and white tablet is truly worth more than an iPad. You know what's really remarkable? Every time someone hits those like and subscribe buttons. I don't know why you do it. I mean, it made sense when you had Rafi's pretty face to look at, but now it's just me, reMarkable. Just like this tablet. So a couple people at the office have been raving about their reMarkables for about a year, but because it always seemed to be nothing more than an overpriced Kindle, I'd always ignored it until now. I finally got my hands on one, and I have to say, I couldn't have been more wrong. While it looks like a standard e-reader and acts more like two at times, the beauty of reMarkable is not in its reading capabilities, but in its writing. The idea behind this Kindle-like device is to replace all your paper notebooks with one slim, beautifully finished digital device. I've written and drawn on graphic tablets, iPads, and Android tablets before, but nothing quite feels like a reMarkable. In a meeting, just tap on the screen and start writing. Take the pen to its black and white e-ink display and jot down notes just like you would on paper. Not only do the combination of textured screen and pen make it feel about as close to writing on real paper as possible, it's also the closest any tablet has come to truly capturing my own handwriting. To the point where, check it out, it even looks like it captures the natural thickness of the lines that different pen strokes would make as you go across the page. And this is what most tablets lack. They're either too sensitive, capturing all this micro jitter that makes it look like you had too much coffee that morning, or they're just not sensitive enough, smoothing out lines unnaturally, losing the sharpness and much of the essence of your own handwriting. Yes, I'm looking at you, iPad, even with the paper-like screen. The design on this is really amazing. I mean, they really put a lot of thought into the finishes. From its magnetic, it clips in magnetically to the case. You can take it out pretty easily. It's got these rubber feet on the back so that when you put it on the table, it doesn't move around. Even the pretty much bezel-less screen, because it's all white, it looks, even on the back, they've really gone for this e-ink whiteness, white and black. The most valuable feature for me though was its text recognition. Because let's face it, I spend half of my day in meetings, taking tons of notes, sketching out ideas, and filling up dozens of notebooks a year. But then what? If you can't easily store and search those notes in the future, it was pretty much a futile exercise. Now I can just access it from any device and save loads of time. I thought it would be pretty gimmicky at first, and although it does make some mistakes from time to time, I was pleasantly surprised at how well it recognized my handwriting. I even tried to confuse it, writing sloppy and leaving almost no space between lines. But even then, the OCR recognizes 33 handwriting languages and dialects and deciphered anything I was writing. It seems to recognize most punctuation, including bullet points for lists, although I couldn't seem to get it to recognize my favorite one of all, the EM dash. It doesn't do emojis either. After converting, we hit the first major flaw in reMarkable's ecosystem. You can't export your notes. All you can do is email them to yourself. Something I'm kind of used to anyways, sending myself emails when my inbox is feeling empty or liking my own videos.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Maybe you can help out with that, hit that like and subscribe button. And taking a belief out of Kindle's book, literally and metaphorically, reMarkable has a crazy long 2-week battery life that makes the most of its e-ink display. It's also lighter too, coming in at a comfortable 350 grams, just 150 grams less than an iPad of the same size. And while you can get bigger tablets, its 10.2-inch screen was a pleasant upgrade from the 6-inch Kindle. The on and off button is hidden away up here, same as the USB-C charging. The pen, this is probably one of the coolest features. Just clips magnetically in place and hard enough so that you won't ever lose it. And even when you close it, it's still nicely stored there on the side. The pen also feels really nice to hold. It's kind of weighted. It should last a few decades. And even though it's lacking an external SD card, it makes up for that with its cloud functionality. Turning it on is pretty immediate. Just click on the power button and boom, we're up and running. Scroll through the pages with your finger. I was kind of upset with this. Like, I feel like there should have been some touch button that I can just keep using the pen. I don't need to put the pen away and use my finger to scroll. Balanced nicely. Not too heavy, not too light. Maybe slightly heavier than your everyday cheapo pen. The first few times I wrote something, I noticed a slight lag as I wrote. Not too much, but at 20 milliseconds latency, it is there. It was a little off-putting at first, but once I started really using it and stopped trying to focus on that, I got used to it and ended up feeling super natural. It achieves this thanks to a 1.2 gigahertz dual-core ARM processor and 1 gigabyte of RAM. And with 8 gigabytes of internal storage and no apps, audio, video, pictures, or anything else to take up that valuable space aside from them little notes, obviously you can change all the pens, eraser mode, and just boom, start writing. It's easy enough to connect to the internet and sync via the reMarkable app for Android and Apple, Windows and Mac. But here's where I hit a wall. I mean, it's a beautiful device. It looks really nice, it's nicely finished, it has this great kind of magnetic features for the pen. The note-taking really blew me away. But right now, the whole ecosystem seems like it's still in its infancy. Don't get me wrong, I didn't expect it to scroll my Facebook feed, make me coffee, or like and subscribe to Tech I Want. No, that's just up to you. It's more about this collection of half-finished features. It's hard to explain why you might want to export your margin notes to someone whose margin notes have always just been on physical paper. But once you start using it, the gaps in functionality are glaringly obvious. The syncing functionality is a little limited as you need to rely on the reMarkable apps. There's no bookstore like your Kindle, and getting books into this reMarkable proved to be a little bit of a hassle. I'd need to convert them to PDFs or EPUBs on my PC and sync them through the app to the reMarkable. There's no real other way to do it. The reader is also not great. I mean, you can swipe between pages and even search, but that's pretty much it. The beauty of it being a writing-first device means you can take notes directly onto the page you're reading, and highlighting does recognize the text that's underneath it, but you can't do anything with those highlights or notes. There's no export feature. Come on, reMarkable. Kindle has let me do this for over 10 years. It's kind of like a Kindle, but it doesn't have a bookstore. It makes you feel like a kid drawing and writing again, but so much of your creativity might never leave the reMarkable itself. So is it worth the $400 price tag? And that's just for the reMarkable itself. If you want to get the pen, which you kind of have to, that's an extra $50. The few people in the office who have one definitely believe so, and have become mini reMarkable evangelists, recommending it to everyone they speak to. And if you find yourself in a lot of meetings, taking a lot of notes, if you enjoy writing by hand but miss the convenience of searchable notes, if you like drawing in black and white, of course, and if you hate Apple and Amazon, it'll make an awesome addition to your workflow, making you more efficient and definitely have the people around you wondering why and how you're writing on your biggest Kindle. I just hope the guys over at reMarkable watch this review and fix those issues before it arrives. So what do you think? Are you ready to move into the e-ink world of digital note-taking? Leave me your thoughts in the comments. If this is your first time at Tech I Want, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell to receive more awesome product reviews like this. And if you've been here before, give us some love. Hit the like button, share it with your friends, comment, send me a message. Do what you gotta do to convince me to keep going. It's kind of hard without Rafi. Till next time, this was Dan from Tech I Want. I'm out.